Get ready, we are going to visit a tea jam in the Rocky Mountains. Hi guys, this is Gabriele from nannuoshan, where we share the pleasure of drinking and discovering genuine farm tea. Oof, it's not too cold today actually, it's perfect weather and well, you know, if you are going to the Rocky Mountains and you are into tea, you cannot really miss Trident. And Trident is a beautiful tea house. And the problem with it is that it's not so easy to find. So what we're doing today, we are just driving up and we're going to show Trident to you. Which was the first time you went to Trident actually? Did you just, like me, went up there and search for tea or?
First time here. Oh, actually, it was the first time we had the Colorado Tea Society meet up there.
Okay.
I think that was the first time we went to Trident. And then we've been meeting there, most of the time we meet there every month.
Yeah, so you go there every month and
Just been messed up.
Even with COVID?
Well, yeah, COVID messed it up. So it's been on and off. But we're starting back up. Almost every month we go. Sometimes we meet at my house, though.
But they host the events for free.
For free, yeah. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah. And discounts on tea. If you're there.
Really? Yeah. As a Colorado Tea Society member, you get discounts.
Yeah, unofficially, but we never pay full price. It's always cost.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Super nice. Okay. Yeah.
It's very cheap.
What's that building there to the right?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it's about the university.
Yeah.
Boulder has a quite large university, especially for the size of the town, which makes the city kind of young and a little bit hipster hippie, kind of. Yeah, you could tell Boulder is a little bit, to me at least, you know, coming out from Denver, is that alternative seeking city in the Rockies where, you know, just 1 hour drive, you can go up there and you have a good vibe just walking around, a nice restaurant scene as well.
It's even more active than Denver, too. More cycling and running.
Oh, yeah.
Hiking.
We are getting closer, just a mile, and we're there. I'm not sure even where we are. Every time I come here, I just walk around and then I find myself. Just it's so small that you always find yourself more or less.
It's mainly one big street.
Which is the name of this pedestrian street there?
This one? We're on
No,
right
the
now?
one.
We're walking to Pearl Street.
Pearl.
And Pearl Street runs basically the whole length of Boulder, and has a lot of shops. So there's a lot of pedestrian traffic and a lot of shops along that avenue.
It's like a strolling. Yeah, right. They are on that. Yeah.
Yep.
They're on Pearl Street.
Right at the end. So Pearl Street goes from the mountains to the nothing, to the middle of the plains. Yeah, a lot of good shops. There's a couple tea shops as well. So there's Trident, but it's also Kucha is on Pearl Street.
Oh, right. In fact, Kucha is the first or the second. You know, when I came to Denver, of course, I started looking around, which are tea houses and so. And amazingly to think of it, but there is more actually in Boulder than in Denver for what the tea concern.
Yeah.
I think went to this Dushanbe tea house where they have all this Tajikistan or how do you say in English?
So
Tajikistan.
Dushanbe's tea house, they imported a entire piece by piece an entire building from Tajikistan, and that's where the tea house is, in that building. So a beautifully painted building.
And you know that there is also the same in Berlin? They
Oh,
also
really?
did exactly the same. Yeah, they took a Tajikistan tea house and they brought it to Berlin. Now, or at least last time I was there, it was in a university. There was inside
Oh.
the university, they have a room where you can go there and have tea. Then there was this Kucha tea house that I've also been.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay, both the Dushanbe and the Kucha tea house, but the type of tea, I mean, I don't know if they do direct sourcing, but it's what I call high-end wholesale.
High-end wholesale.
Okay, so it's like, it seems to me they don't really do direct sourcing, maybe they do, I don't know. But it's like, it's good, but it's not there, you know, where you want
Yeah.
it to be. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't really, in the Rocky Mountain region, you can't really compare to Peter's sourcing.
Yeah.
He has really fantastic tea.
After having visited the Dushanbe and the Kucha tea house, I thought that was it, that there was nothing else about tea in Boulder. But then on one day I was just strolling on Upper Street and I look on the opposite side of the road and I saw a bookstore. And in front of the bookstore, outside, there was a table with a lady sitting on it and she was drinking tea from a guy one. And so that looks really kind of weird to me. And I thought, okay, then there must be more about tea. And I entered the place and that was Trident. So we're almost there, Brian. What do you think we will be drinking today?
I want to drink Darjeeling. Peter has
Oh, you want to
fantastic
do Darjeeling?
Darjeeling, yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite thing that he sources.
I wasn't expecting this reply from
really?
you. No, not really. Okay. Well, we are just there.
Chunkpur, is that the...
Shampoo, you know, it was because I mean, Trident has really good pour as well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking you would just reply the usual. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We made it. Here we are with Peter.
Yes.
Peter, thanks for hosting us on a busy Saturday. Actually, it's not too busy today.
No, today's not too busy, luckily. We'll probably get busy later this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean the road. Last time I was pre-COVID. Actually, last time I was in Boulder, and like the first street was just packed with people.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, how it is going? I mean, how did you survive COVID? Actually.
COVID was okay. I mean, we had to shut down everything and only offer to go, which was for a couple of months. So that was a little difficult. But, you know, we have a really supportive community. So
Yeah.
people came out, supported us that way. Online sales went up. So that was
Yeah.
really good. So it wasn't as difficult as we initially imagined it would be. Like within the first
Yeah.
week, we were like, how are we going to do this? But
Because I was just mentioning yesterday that one of my favorite restaurants is in Boulder,
Oh,
and yeah, it got closed.
Oh, really?
So I think is now the only one, right?
yeah. Well, I think if you didn't pivot or try and like be creative, you didn't make it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. You have to find your way.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get started, actually, what do we drink today? What did you bring us here?
I brought you 3 teas. Pretty exciting stuff. So this one right here, the first one, is a Darjeeling tea from Gulpadara Estate. This one's a special tea because it's just a specific lot from the corner of their garden that's made of the old tea bushes that the British planted back in the day. So it's,
really? Wow.
yeah. So it's about 80 to 100-year-old bushes.
Is that the first flush?
Yeah, it's first flush, and they select it out and process it as a single lot just for us. So that's pretty
But
exciting.
you know what? Since on the way here, Brian, you wanted to drink Darjeeling, so
Darjeeling,
let's get started. Can you brew us the Darjeeling, Brian?
Can I? I'll mess it up, but yeah, I can enjoy it.
And so this is Dunding from Lugu. So it's an original Dunding.
Yeah, this is from the Lugu Township tea competition. They have a Dongding competition every year. This is this year's gold medal winner, Dongding, so won first place. Very exciting tea.
That's probably the one I would rather drink. And then you have your own wrap here with a Trident wrap.
Yeah, so this is one of our Shang pressings, 2019 Autumn Gushu blend from Gaoshan and Mahai villages in Yunnan.
Mhm.
You know, two Yiwu villages blended together.
Oh, so it's an autumn blend. All right.
Yeah, the fall harvest.
Kind of all interesting. But yeah, let's start with Darjeeling and let me start like that, Peter. So I read a little bit on the website about how everything gets started. It was exciting reading that everything got started here in the year I was born.
Oh, yeah.
1979. So, and what I couldn't find out from the website is when Peter came on board.
Oh, when did I come on board?
Or how? How you mean how?
My history with Trident is slightly convoluted. You know, I've been coming here. I'm from Boulder, so I've been coming here for my whole life, and I did a lot of my graduate school studies here, like a lot of people do. And during that time, I started working in the bookstore as a manager of the bookstore.
Right, because we are discussing about the tea house, but first of all, we have to mention that, when you search, I mentioned it before actually, when you search for tea in Boulder, you don't instantly necessarily find Trident because it's a bookstore or bookseller and cafe.
Correct.
And that's why it took a while to me to realize that there is tea also here.
Yeah, that's one of the secrets of the Trident is that we're a coffee shop and a bookstore, but we have probably the best tea selection of anyone in the state. So,
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, if we speak about state of Colorado, that's definitely the case. And did you brought tea into Trident, or they had tea before?
Yeah, so the founders of Trident were followers of a certain Tibetan Buddhist Rinpoche. So they had tea when we started, but none of it was directly sourced from farmers. It was just bought off of U.S. vendors, sort of.
Just wholesaler, or
So there was always a tea presence, but not very strong. But then when I came in and took over as manager, that's when we really bumped up the tea program and started doing direct sourcing from farmers in different countries.
So the direct sourcing comes from you, basically. Yeah. And which is your personal tea story? So I mean, you don't go start working for a coffee shop in Boulder and you start direct sourcing of tea. I mean, it's how did you go?
That's sort of what I did.
It's sort of what you did.
Yeah, I mean, since we had a tea program, you know, my goal was to elevate both our coffee and tea programs. So, you know, so I just started directly sourcing, making connections, networking.
But you were already into tea before, or it came you a little bit on?
I've been into tea for a long time. Probably like a lot of people, just sort of as a hobby, drinking on the side, trying to find loose leaf tea when I could, buying from some websites and you know, some grocery stores that had loose leaf tea, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I was thinking when I was coming here, okay, Trident is a coffee place for sure. I'm very much into coffee indeed, actually, and I will have a coffee before going out because where I live in Alabama, in Huntsville at least, no luck. No luck. I mean, if you want a good coffee, do it yourself and try your best. That's the way. So, if I would ask you, what do you like most, coffee or tea?
For myself, I was pretty 50-50. I tend to do coffee in the morning and tea in the afternoon. That seems.
Ah, right. Okay, that's it split. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my style. So
Yeah.
So I couldn't say I like one more than the other though.
And you just started roasting coffee, right?
Yeah, we just started a roasting company, coffee roasting company. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that. To grow that business now and be sourcing our own beans and stuff. So yeah, very exciting.
And tell me, because I think you guys are interested. I mean, not everyone can come to Denver and the Rockies. If you live in the area or you come here on vacation, pass by Trident. But you have also an online store. We put the link in the description below so you guys can have a look. We have here Taiwan, Yunnan, Indian, Darjeeling.
Yeah.
So, which is your specialty, or what can I didn't check actually? What can I find on your website? Give it a suggestion. What's out of your assortment?
Well, I'd say we specialize particularly in Darjeeling, rock oolongs from Fujian, some of the high-end Taiwanese oolongs, and a few pu'ers. We don't. Yeah, we're pretty selective in that market, but those are our specialties, I would say.
And those are pressed just for you at the end, because
this is pressed for us. We do carry some that are not pressed for us that we source from other people. But, those are the main areas that we focus on. We have other teas, but those would probably be our specialties.
Oh, I see. Cool. And we are doing Chaozhou style Darjeeling here without the picture directly, so it's kind of good. And you put a lot of leaves, and
there's a lot of leaves. We call it Peter's style. Peter likes to tie leaves in.
Yeah,
I like to overleaf and do fast steeps.
Yeah,
I see.
As opposed to less leaf, longer steeps. Yeah. So it seems to work pretty good.
It's Peter style. Cool.
But we've worked with this garden for 5 years now to specifically get them to do whole leaf Darjeeling. So Darjeeling is traditionally cut leaf, and so you couldn't really do gong fu with it.
I wanted to tell, in fact, that you have really kind of large leaves. I mean, you can tell. Look at these.
Yeah.
Let me try to bring it close. Okay, you do that. Yeah.
There's the lead leaf. You can see how
I'm just hiding, otherwise the camera focus on me.
Yeah.
And I'll bring the leaves so that you can have a look. It's kind of interesting having a whole leaf Darjeeling. Oh.
So when I was saying I was excited about Peter's Darjeeling, this is why, because it's very hard to find whole leaf Darjeeling, and he's a really good source for great Darjeeling. It's not easy to find good Darjeeling online or otherwise.
Nice.
So there was a reason.
It was the reason, yeah. I'm curious about this Donding. May I?
Yeah, please. Please do.
So you just received this?
Yeah, the competition is every summer, and so that happened about a month ago, and we just received, this is the gold medal winning Dongding from the competition.
In the village, yeah.
Yeah, very exciting. Well, it's the Lugu Township Tea Growers Association.
Ah, I see.
So they're the ones that hold the competition.
Yeah. And for those that are not so familiar with Donding, what we can say that Donding is a style and a place. So nowadays in Taiwan, you have a lot of other places that do Donding style oolong that may be good, may be less good, but it's, if you want really the original one, it's kind of only a very small area at mid altitude. It's not as high as Boulder,
600 meters.
600, 800, something like that. And
To open it?
oh,
it's exciting. So Peter also hasn't. You haven't tried this.
No, it just came in.
It's sealed.
Yeah, they're all sealed.
But you do. Just poke it. Yeah.
What's often very exciting about the competition Dongdings is because it's for the competition, it's judged in the traditional style.
Oh, yeah.
So the roasts are pretty impeccable on these competition Dongdings versus a lot of times now, since Taiwan shifted to more of the green style oolongs, you don't get a roast as much.
Well, that's definitely a traditional roast. You can tell. It's kind of difficult to show it in the camera, but
Here, put it in the Gaiwan if you want. And show.
yeah, that may help. Is enough for Peter style?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
classic roasting Donding. Let's try this out. Have you been ever traveling in the place of origin of tea or so? Did you have the opportunity?
I have, but I've never, not to any of these farms recently, no.
Any plans?
Yeah, I'd love to as soon as like COVID's
Yeah, now it's
allows me to, or it's over enough.
yeah, that's a nightmare now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wash or no
Hopefully
wash?
soon. You could dump if you want it.
I never washed tea, that's why I asked.
Oh, well,
It's
then,
fresh,
then-
right? It's for this year.
Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
year's winter,
Oh.
so it's very good. So
Yeah, I was telling Gabe the other day, I never wash tea, but it's not like intentional, I just always forget. So that's,
There are people that forget the tea brewing and
Yeah.
people that forget.
I do both, yeah, I also
Ah,
forget.
you're good at
Yeah.
there's
both.
people that also wash the tea and then drink the wash. So
That's true.
you know,
Well, I'll let you steep this, Peter, because
well, it's already
it's probably done now. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. The first one never opens, but
yeah. Now you can tell from the color, yeah, very traditional. Which was mine.
I don't,
but if you,
Like
you
this
can
one. I don't know.
smell, it's very nice. The roast is always so good on these.
Yeah, definitely a high roasting, kind of exciting. I wasn't expecting
Oh, yeah.
all this today. How many different coffees do you offer? How does it work? I mean,
Right now, different coffees we have. Well, there's one if you like order an espresso or a coffee, but
right.
we sell 5 different single origins at the same time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, just
And those
for
rotate
takeaway.
through, for to take home. And then I'd say we probably have behind the counter. There's probably like 40, 45 teas that you can choose from.
Uh-huh.
But you could either get it in a pot, Western style, or you can get it as a gum.
The guy one. In fact, I was saying before, you know how actually I didn't search for Trident, but I was mentioning I was just walking opposite side of the road,
Yeah.
and I turn and I see a bookstore, and then I watch down and I see a lady sitting outside and drinking out of the guy one.
Yeah.
And I say, "What's that?" And that's what attracted me actually to the
Yeah.
place.
We're notoriously bad at advertising.
Ah,
What are you tasting, Gabe? The aroma is really strong. I think the roast is quite balanced.
it has still to open up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just starting to open.
this will be a 45-minute long video while we.
Both drink all
So
day.
What is interesting so far, the thing that I like the most is the fact that the roasting is quite high, yeah, but at the same time is not a tiny bit over roasted.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
have
what I'm
that feeling of burned taste
Yeah.
in it that sometimes you have when people push too much the roasting.
And usually, if you push it too much, in my experience, the first few steeps, you just kind of wash off the roast, and it's
Yeah. I'd say it's a high roast, but it's not a dark roast.
Not
Right,
super,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, which you get a lot of dark roasts these days when the people
Yeah.
are doing a high roast. So
Same for rock tea, a problem, right? That
Yeah.
sometimes they over roast.
Mhm.
It's just that local guys they like it that way, and
because they're smoking cigarettes the entire time,
Yeah.
so they have to enhance
Yeah.
the flavor.
and eating very spicy food.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I think from what I've sort of noticed is that a lot of the roasting technique is being lost.
Yeah.
As oolongs have shifted to the greener style,
There we go.
the generation that knew how to roast is no longer roasting. The young generation that's starting doesn't roast. So when they try, they don't do a very good job.
Yeah.
So-
The tradition is kind of getting
Finding
lost.
finding really high quality roasted tea is getting harder and harder.
Definitely.
Still opening up. I think we're going to run out of water and maybe get another one.
Yeah, you can go up there. Or you want me to?
I can go. Let me get some more water. Yeah.
Okay. So water is back. That's good.
Water's back.
If you have tea and you have no water, you have a problem. So,
You can always get more water here.
yeah, and you know, one thing I would really, I mean, we are mentioning traveling. We did a lot of traveling to China, and now for the past 2 years not, but
Right.
will come. I haven't never been personally to Taiwan, so would like to do. But would be nice to do a tea trip together and a sourcing together. I mean, who knows, it will work out. But you know, choosing a place where we both haven't been,
Yeah.
and go there and do some tea sourcing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be exciting. I'm always up for adventures.
Yeah.
Speaking of water, by the way, Peter pays a lot of attention to his water.
Yeah.
I think you have a video on water as well.
We have a few videos on water, right? So tell us about your water here. I mean, you have good water in the mountains.
Yeah, we have we're blessed here in Boulder with fairly good water, especially for tea. I've worked with a professor up at the university, Dr. Hernandez.
Here in Boulder.
Yeah, here in Boulder, to do water analysis on both Trident water and Boulder water. And so that was quite revealing in terms of what was actually in the water and how it changes throughout the year based on our supply. Boulder gets its water from 18 miles away, just in the mountains, is where it falls fresh. So, and it goes through granite, and then it comes into the processing plant. So, we're pretty lucky here not to have heavy sediment or heavy water, and so we just run all our water through a couple charcoal and membrane filters to move.
Oh, you do that anyway?
Yeah, we do that not to change the calcium or magnesium, but to just get rid of any metals, particles, and chlorine.
Just to remove residues and contaminants. Okay.
Yeah.
So the minerality remains the same, actually.
Pretty much, yeah. So, because calcium and magnesium, phosphorus, those are all small enough that they pass through the filters.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're lucky. In Alabama, the water doesn't come from the mountain.
Right. Everyone downstream from us has a hard time.
I tell you, it's...
Yeah, we're very blessed here to have very good water.
No, even filtering the water is not enough to me there with classic filter. So at the end, I just buy spring water for tea.
My guess is probably in Alabama that the water is actually really low in content, so filtering won't boost it up. You'd have to add some calcium and magnesium to it.
It could be. It's just, I didn't do any analysis. It just tastes bad.
Yeah.
That's the analysis.
It just tastes bad.
Yeah.
In hot regions like that too, they tend to overchlorinate, and so you get that really over-treated water.
Yeah.
Well, this is really good.
It's really important to have quality water. Most people think it's just it's tap water or spring water, and it's really not necessarily the source. It's what's in the water that makes the difference. The minerality, the content, the mineral salts. So.
Oh, it's good tea.
Do you have any more tasting notes for this?
I'm not concentrating on that, just enjoying it.
That's the best way to drink tea. It's just to enjoy it. This went through, 600 other competitors and, 20 judges, and they went through it multiple times. So I'm pretty sure they made sure it was a good tea.
Did a good job.
When will this be available on the site?
This should be available on the site in about a week.
Oh, great. Okay.
We'll put it up on the website. And we'll do it by the ounce, even though, when it comes, it's... you have to buy just these package deals. So, there's...
How much is this? 100
3
grams?
of those.
200.
200. So, 600 is a gin, right, that you buy.
Oh, yeah. Because in Taiwan, so you have a gin, is usually 500 grams, but in Taiwan, it's 600.
Yeah.
They want to do things different than in mainland China, I guess.
So...
Yeah, so if you want to try that one, by the time this video is out, also the tea should be out.
It'll be on the website. Yeah. The website has some around 60 plus teas available right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you can get this one from Trident, you can get our Donding, and you do a comparison, you let us
There you go.
It's very hard, actually. It's an unfair comparison because our is kind of aged already. It's, I think, 2013.
Oh, yeah.
So
very different style then.
Yeah, the style is the same.
But I mean, it'll change the tea,
Yes, in that sense, yeah. So it is traditional one from Donding village, but 8 years old,
Yeah, that'll be a really interesting comparison to do. Yeah.
So, roasted grains, since Brian is challenging me.
Yeah. Put a blindfold on you and see if you can.
Tiny bit of brown sugar. It's not, I wouldn't describe it as floral. It's more bright ripe fruit, maybe.
Yeah, there's a little melon, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
You could say a green melon, honeydew melon.
Yeah.
in there.
I should spot that actually, because if there is only one thing, I eat everything, but one thing I don't like that much is melon. And usually I spot it, but now that you say, yes, it's there. Yeah, that's the freshness of the melon. Yeah,
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 it's delicious.
nice. Yeah.
But like a good dongding, what are we on? Steep 7 or something? And
Oh, yeah.
it's still
Yeah, yeah.
going. So that's all for all you people out there. Make sure you get at least 5 plus steeps out of your dongding, or else it's not a good quality one.
Right, yeah.
So you're saying toasted grain, melon, minerality.
Yeah, medium minerality, toasted grain, that roasting, it's quite tart, but very well harmonized with all the rest. A little bit of brown sugar, and I think that gives a good picture. There is a sweetness to it. That's why I want to put the sugar in there.
Yeah.
Because zero bitterness.
Yeah, it's still not astringent on steep 8 or 9.
No.
So, which is really nice.
Yeah, zero sourness, zero astringency, no dryness.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good tea. The roast is super balanced.
Good job.
Not me.
Well, you sourced
job,
it.
yeah.
It's not easy. It's
Yeah.
of course the difficult part is doing tea, but it's also quite difficult to find good tea.
Yeah, that's right.
Also because consider the fact that, we are over here, but why someone from Dondin should sell tea and take the bother of sending tea over to the other side of the ocean? It's kind of, sometimes they do it because of pride, because they like, to tell people we are exporting tea to the US, but it's not the business for them.
No, it doesn't make much money, no.
No.
Yeah.
But that's the reason you try and form long-term relationships, so that you like this guy doesn't win every year, but you buy tea from him every year, and then one year he wins, and then he's like, hey, I won this year. Do you want to buy some?
Yeah.
Because there's no way I would find this without working with this farmer on non-winning years as well. So.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, you don't get that tea, and probably you still get a fairly good price if you are already in contact with the supplier before, while if you want to buy in the year he won.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah. When did you come up with this?
The Shan symbol?
The Shan symbol as a...
that was developed by the Tibetan Rinpoche. That's his painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that and allowed us to use it before he passed away. He said that we could use it for our logo.
Cool.
Because it's also a trident, right?
Yeah, that was the super cool idea,
and
right?
then the Shan, we're at the foot of the mountains. Shan means mountains.
Yeah.
So it's got a bunch of different meanings on it. So
you have for those that are not so much into Chinese, that the character for Shan, which means mountain, like nannuoshan, for example, and at the same time is a trident. So
yeah,
cool idea. I think I want to go for a coffee now.
Okay.
It's like I'm here and I want to go for a coffee. Let's do that. Thank you, Peter, for the time.
Yeah,
for
my pleasure. Yeah, I'm glad you guys came out. Always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun.
The line is up to outside of the cafe. I would like to get my coffee, but I have to wait a little bit. I finally made it. Yeah, that's the right one, that's milk. Real milk. So we got our caffeine dose for the day. We have drunk quite a lot of coffee. And where is Brian?
I'm here.
And now we are going for a hike. I have just 1 more hour before having to go to the airport. And we can use that time for doing some hiking in the Boulder area.
Something outdoors.
Something outdoor, yeah. Another cool thing about Trident is that actually it is owned by the employees. So Peter had this idea some years ago and was able to convince the 2 owners to actually sell their shares to the employees. And I think the first time they did that, a few years ago, there were 8 employees, and in the meantime there are 13. So it's 13 people that not only work for Trident, but they actually co-own the space. And that's the end of our video today. It's time to go back to the car and back to the airport and fly all the way back to Alabama. I hope you have enjoyed this video and sharing about other tea houses and tea places around the world. If you like this type of videos, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and go ahead subscribe our channel if you haven't done it so. Bye bye.
Ciao.